left, 2, 3, 7. Circles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1 and 2. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1 and 2. Knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1 and 2. Turn the neck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1 and 2. Back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1 and 2. Tilting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1 and 2. Circles. 1, 2, 3. Switch. 1, 2, 3. Deep breathing. Okay, open up. Turn the waist. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1 and 2. Lunges. Switch. 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 Open up the hip. Switch. Stretch front leg. Switch. Switch. Last one. Center. You ready? Your left. Center. Shake it up. Keep breathing. Punches. Switch. Switch to the side. Switch. Center. Stop. Edge of the fist. switch. Center, cartwheel punch. Up, back fist. And switch. Center, deep breathing. Forward stance. Punches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 1, 2. Low block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Middle block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. High block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, and 2. All three. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, and 2. Footwork punch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Little block punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Regular punch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Bridges to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. High gate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Straight out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thrust. Press. Deep breathing. 1, 2, 3. Okay, kicks, left foot forward. Toe kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bladed foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Heel kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Straight leg kick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Last one, roundhouse to the waist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Keep breathing. 2, 3. Get some water in there. what it is,
Get
unfortunately.
used to.
Yeah. Okay. Punches, yeah. Okay, we do punches. Punching gestures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Keep breathing. 1, 2. Okay, elbows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. One more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, straight up, 7, straight down, 8, flat, 9, big, 10, 1, 2, 1, 2 to the side, 3 to the rear, 4, roll, 5, open, 6, up, 7, down, 8, flat, 9, big, 10, trapping, cross. Keep breathing. 1, 2, okay. See if you want to try stances. Going through the forms. First one. This one. Ready? Up. Then we'll just go right to fourth.
This one, we're working on that a bit. So last week we worked a lot on the prep on the leg work, which in this game. And we did a lot of this kicking the heel up instead of leaving your feet like this. That's really taking it down to a little bit more control. So the hands and feet are in a relationship, then the hands are doing everything, and the feet are defining the position, or the position, then it has to be tied regularly. All right, sir. It goes hands. So position. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, down. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, wait a second. So when we elbow up and we pull down, opposed to here, you go up, push. Those are okay till you pull down just a little bit lower, Irina, to here. Your wrist block should come, not to here, but to here. So wrist block should be, so you get a full, see if you go like this, then the elbow didn't sink. If you go like this, then this part didn't come in. So you have to have this and this, so you have these two components. So you end up parallel to the floor. Then you get the full wrist block, and then you thrust. So that all of these should be like that. The fuhaka should be the same. So that's really a chim, sink your bridge, and then thrust. But you're essentially folding your wrist like that, so you're using that part as a strike. But whether you're striking like that or not, like this, or defining it so that when you're here, it becomes a press that actually creates the downward direction. When you use it, it might only come to here, depending on where you intercept. But in a form, you have to complete the motion, mainly because you're working off your own sensory system, and there's feedback from positions that you feed. And over time, if this is where your brain thinks it should go, it's going to start working so that it thinks that that's where it's going to stop. So those become habits. So in the beginning, we don't really know, but once we start talking about that position, then you should make sure that you get there each and every time. Here is up, but it's 45 over there, because you really can't do it over here. Okay, so that, yeah, back in that position, we just finish that. Then hook cross, 1. Now when you cross, again, in the beginning, see when you learn form, there's stages and you evolve. First line of learning is memorizing sequence. That's all, everybody just does that, memorize sequence so you can get through it. But once you get to a position you're doing these movements and you've got it down as far as sequence, then when you press, you want your back to be involved. You have to round. Well, if you've rounded your back, then you do the opposite. Open it back up. Then you round again. Then you open it up again. So you can open on this one, and then cover on this one, and then rise and fall on this one. So all of those terms are used, but all of those also describe what your body is doing too. So just take that information, close, open, close, cross, cover, open. So that's body too. It's really driving it in. All right, ready from here? Close, open, cross, cut, cover, corner back fist. Okay, next, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Roll. Okay, middle. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lift. Okay, slice. Step out horse. Go to leaning. Okay. Cross and cut. Step out and pound. Adjust an elbow. Sink and thrust. Draw it from the elbow. Now go. 1, 1, 2, 3. Push, pull, down, and out. Next, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, turn, cut, okay, step and palm, okay, adjust an elbow, okay, sink and thrust, draw back and cut, push, pull, down, corner back fist, step, dragon, 3 times, that's 1, 2, 3, divert, pause, okay, sink down a little bit, take, sink the wrist, sink the elbow at this, okay, dragon, okay, adjust, turn, next, 1, step first, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, divert, 1, cross behind, sink, turn and sink, step up, horse, okay, kick the heel out when you step up on the horse. So, yeah, you have to define the position. We're here, wait, 1, 2, step out, 3, so you step out, 3, okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, thrust, open, push, drop your elbow and push. Okay. Set up your hands, 1, 2. So we're here. 1, sink. Back fist. Cut. Step. Thrust. Open. Push. 1, 2, 3. So yeah. So when you set up your hip, because you create an action from the body too. Then you're in this position, hold your position for a second. And then from this pinky, a little higher, and this is, yeah. Because this is like this, eyebrow, and we're here. When we take a step, we wind up the torso, and then here, 1. So the first, you lead with this, then finish with this, and on the way back, this hand stays firm, but it becomes the secondary part of that action. Because if you do this like this, then it becomes kind of wild. So you kind of blend the action together. 1, 2, 3. So that in other words, you still have the horse relationship. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah. And then this one is back here, based on your rotation. Okay, next go. Uppercut. 1. Corner. Go. Pow. Turn. Pow. Go. Pow. Fourth one, stop. Turning, cut. Push. Pull. Okay, hook your foot. Step. 2, 3. Push. Offset horse. Turn. Cover big. Okay, don't forget horse and big. Horse and big. Sing. This is your hand. This is your turn. So it comes, in other words, we're here. Horse, right? So this comes sink, and then finish it at the end. Don't like at the same time. So the fade. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Then go 1, right? So let it smooth from the shoulder. Lead with the shoulder and finish so that you're, as if you're using this. So you don't have to turn all the way here on it, like this. So you're using this. This is just there. Because if you want to use the extension of that, you start to lose power anyways. So if you're going to use this part, you want to be closer and you're like this. Because when you're big and you loud, you need to be close to this. But if you're going deep, then you really like, you're using this and this. You know what I mean? Because we're here. So in other words, I'm here. 1, 3, 1, 2. So you get that little bit of a double action because you really don't have enough leverage to do that until you, because you're here. You cover, big, 1, 2. So this leg becomes your pivotal point because your power is coming from there, but you're really here. So there really there's nothing there. Your rotation, just like we talked about, your spine is coming here. And then you're using this. So you don't have to overturn. Once you overturn on this one, because you're not using this side, you're essentially just supporting this. Now if you go like this and then do this, then that's a counteracting movement. So go. Okay, ready? Lau. That's called a Lau Jiang too. Ready? Hook and turn. Push. Turn. Cover. Big. Big and hold. So don't tilt. So don't tilt but turn more. Right? Because you've got to get that in the bag. Okay. I got a good doctor for you. His name's Michael. Okay. Lau. Hey. Scoop. Next. So when you're here, this is scoop, turn, step, push, sweep, turn and lift. Pop. Double block. Here you go. Left side. 1, 2. Left, right, up and down. Right, left, yeah. Hook. Uppercut. Cheurng. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, sliding step punch. Man, what's up? You're really free, huh? You're coming at this late hour. Coming late hour. Okay, hold on a second. Get your stance a little bit. Come on, Tom, get in that stance. And then turn here. Nose, fist, and knee. Because over here. Nope, that stays. It's this. No, this stays shut, but it's this, your back. See, when you turn, your back out. A short punch requires, there's not much distance, so the power comes from here. Yeah. Now, because this is driving, you see. So what makes it fast is the turn. If you don't turn fast, no matter how fast the hand comes out, it's not fast. Right? Yeah. It's a belly shot. Boom. Boom. Now this is very short. I'm not even moving my hand. Right. Okay. All right, next, go. Go. Push. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, jump. Water. High block. Palm strike. High block. Palm strike. Step up and press. Turn and trap. Sit back. Lift. Shove. Hop. Turn. Dragon. Sweep. Push. Turn and big. Okay. Turn. Step. Black tiger. Dragon. Okay. Turn. Sliding step. Cut. Big. Grab. Punch. Cut. Big. Grab. Punch. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn kill. Sliding step punch. 1, 2, 3. Keep breathing. So this dragon, because we're moving away, we want this one to be a little longer than this one. So this is a bridge you're blocking. This one is, it's a dragon claw too, but it's you're moving away. So that's similar to the one that you have in the, when you're doing the butterfly sword, and you're here. So you have the long bridge. Cutting hand, big, grab, cut, big, grab. Remember what we did the other day? We did a little drill, remember that? So we did it in parallel, right? So in parallel movements, it's easier to do. Parallel movements, hand movements, you're not turning. So you're big, 1, 2, cut, right? Big, draping, you're draping your forearms. Come to vertical, go to horizontal, and grab. So to get to vertical to horizontal, you can just do that, not relax the shoulder, or you can drop the lift the shoulder and create the action, and create an arc. Create an arc. Right, so you cut, big, drape, go vertical. Gotta ice it, huh? Okay, and close. Right. So closing, right, once you're here, closing is this. Punching is this. So you break it down in fundamentals. That's all, basically all you're doing. You know all these positions, but when you're going to the side and you're turning, and you're lifting, and you're sinking, and you're rising, and you're turning, this becomes something the body's not used to. Because you're sinking, you have to sink. So you notice, look at the knee. When I sink like this, my knee's going this way. So I say it's compatible direction. Not only is my body turning this way, but my knee has to compensate for this. Because if I held this position and I turn, the body's only going to allow you to turn to this position. But if you're going to turn more, then this half of your body has to come forward. So if you try just that movement, you can feel the stress and the strain going into your rear leg. Now the weight actually becomes, much more dense and deep in that leg. But you're also sort of letting this leg do that. So now the muscles in your legs are really moving because you're twisting. And if you're twisting, then that brings a whole new dimension into the legs. Because your legs have to get used to that, and it has to be able to go into that position and then come out of that position on the opposite direction. So your legs actually become has much more dexterity than just folding in the knee and bending in the hip. It becomes a relationship between this. All of those relationships, have to come together because now you're in a new dimension. Your legs are going in another plane of movement that is not accustomed to, so you have to kind of build that strength. The knees are typically like this, on a daily basis. You're not really doing this, so that's why you're a little far into the body, so you have to go through it. But don't overdo it because then you're gonna, strain yourself. So get into your stance, cut, okay, big, yeah, and turn like this. Not just here. Up, turn, and then. So when you turn here, then the elbow has to change as the leader of that motion. See, so the rows have to switch. 1, 2, 3, 4. So those are actually, it's the geometry of position, but we all know from this that we're turning, right? But we're not turning our hand. We're turning our body. When you turn the body, then you can control this structure in a direction. Right? Now you're leading with the elbow, because the elbow really creates this, the integrity of this. So, because if you just let it fold, then the elbow can dictate a direction, but you have nothing here and you have nothing here. You feel the difference. You have to feel the difference, because if you don't feel the correctness in the movement, then you will never know it. Because the feedback that goes to your brain doesn't tell you that whether this is structurally sound or not, because it doesn't know that that's what you're looking for. So when you go like this, so if you do your first exercise, then you're building that structure. If you're in a Bung position and you're turning in brushed knee, you're turning your spine, then you have to have structure here. So that body intelligence is not something that is there simply because you heard it. You have to train your body to learn that. And you train your body to learn it because you're using neurons. You're using stuff in the brain that controls the musculature. So it doesn't matter how your memory is and how much you think you understand it. Your body doesn't recognize it, so it's not going to do it. So you have to go through this process. So when we cut and we pick and we're here, just going by what we're talking about, you have to turn with that same turn from the very first exercise. And then when you do this and punch, comes right back to this. So, right. So let's just do that movement a couple of times with both hands, right? So we cut, pick, drape, the drape like this, drape. Lift, right? Lift, vertical lift. Circle. Right? Every action is a different surface area of contact. So when you pick, and you drape, and you lift, and you turn, you're creating different direction forces in different planes of motion. And you have to have, that's what the conscious intent is. So when you drape and you bick, you should have a certain feeling and a movement. But because it's not something that you're doing that's tangible, it's just a virtual motion, and you're supposed to be doing these things, you can't really feel it until you actually experience what the strength and weaknesses are of that position, right? So if he's here, okay. So when I cut, I'm here, right? If I bick, the intent is here. When I drape, the hand is here. When I turn, the hand is here. I can't lift here. If I want to lift here, I'm not in position to lift. I have to come to here to lift. And then I can't just take it over like this. I have to be here, and then I have to bring my elbow up, and then I can turn this way. So you have to preset your positions in order to make your maneuver, because if you're out of position, then what happens when you're out of position? You start to use strength to compensate for the lack of structure. So the idea is when you come 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, every position that I'm in actually has a different structural integrity, a different strength. When I'm here, why is it this and not here? Why does this not work and this does? Is it the knee? Is it the elbow? Is it the hip? This is, right? So this is understanding, because you have to kind of look at the position and whether it's correct or not. And it's not easy to simply explain that, right, Justin? So why not here and has to be here before I can do this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know why?
Better leverage.
Better leverage? From what?
From stance and from the position of the elbow. This here gives you more leverage versus keeping the elbow here. You got nothing.
So,
No substance.
so that's upper body, right? Is that right, Paul? Do you think that's right? Feels right. Is that right, Tom? You think that's right? Everybody's saying, yeah, that sounds right. It's A, B, C, or D, right? This is kind of. You didn't see the difference? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. So what's the difference, Kim? Not 1. And then what happens? But what about that? That's what I'm asking about. You sink. And you sink, and that creates upper-lower coordination in a way, right? You can sink. So you sink, upper-lower coordination. So what I'm actually looking for is this. What I'm looking for is this. Because I cut like this, I pick like this, I drape like this. When I'm here, okay, and his hand is here, and I lift, I really press down. I really don't have support. I don't have support till I get to here. Now when he presses, press, right? Why? Because the alignment of this heel is in this alignment. This I'm not there because my spine is actually outside of my heel. So that's why you have to go to here. And then I have strength here, but I don't have strength going that way. I don't have strength going that way until I do this. And I can't do that until I do this. But you can't do them independently. 1, 2, 3. So the structure that I'm talking about, the geometry of position, we all know the geometry. We just don't understand the linkage and the alignment. So that's something that you have to go through. And it's something that we see and then we say, oh, then when you work at it, you have something to start, there's your goal. But on the other side of it, if you work it long enough and you can feel that this is different from the other one, then you can learn that way too. That's through discovery. So you could be told how to do it, you could be, explained how to practice it. So most people, because a lot of you are teachers, most people don't think about it because that's not their job. It's the job of the teacher to tell you how to do it. Or the teachers have to come up with the work plan or the schedule for you to practice, and then you go through the rigmarole. So that's what sort of industrial schooling is. Kung Fu schools are not, typically like that. But if you want to take it to this level of teaching, then you can have a lot of consistency. But why don't people spend a lot of time writing books about this stuff? Because there's not a lot of students. You don't have, you can't spend your life trying to do that and then, you never get payback. So that's one of the reasons that traditional martial artists don't have a big following. It's just the nature of the beast. But the people that actually interested in doing that actually are pretty interested. They'll struggle with it and they'll spend, years doing it. If people really understood the true value of the body mechanics, then they would actually understand that there's a lot more to it than, just punching someone out. If you're going to punch someone's eyes out, you want to do it with a little bit of finesse, because if you don't have any finesse, you might as well use a 2x4. So anyways, so we're here. So you can see when we're working in tandem or pairs, you have cutting hand, you have pick, you have draping like this. So this is really a form of cutting too. And then you're here, your elbows go out, you make your fist and you close. So we do all of those movements all the time when we're doing our forms, but we don't realize that we are actually doing those same movements, because once we do it like this, now it becomes another posture, another format, and we haven't connected the two dots yet. And then, so I bring it out there, you can see it, and then, so you already have picked up the strategy for that. Now this, we want to open the hands and be parallel. A lot of people fold and they do it like this. Even the people in Hong Kong do that. Even a Seabach does that. They do the salute. But they're neglecting this importance of that. Because if you neglect this, then you're going to have to learn it here. Why not learn it here, and then you have the back fist? You have the breaking, the anti-grab movement. You have it there already. You can, make it big, but if you make it small, then you have to learn the big one. But make it big first, the fullness of that movement, then you can modify it if you needed to, right? So that's day one. You start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Square, meaning this. Right? Triangles, there. So when we go through the movement and the hoop, squares, circles, and hoops. Triangles, squares, and hoops. So now this, that's this, right? So we know the positions, we just haven't pulled together the combinations. So, right. So when we do this, like I said, this is also the same movement as a back fist. So we've been actually gone through in parry and punch. We did the double hand, hammer fist, right? Invert the hand, fold the elbows, double back fist. Now these are close because you're tracking the movement, elbow, to get that center line. And then you do it like this, right? Now integrate with the legs, then you develop that coordination. So when you sink the knees, the elbows go out. When you straighten the elbows, you straighten your knees. So that's the basic, relationship in the upper-lower coordination. Now this is vertical plane. It seems a little different because we're doing this in Tai Chi, but that's this vertical plane in this front. This one is like this. So movements happen in different planes. So this is forward to back, back to forward. This is right to left. This is right to left. This is forward and back, right? Back and forward. So when you do a back fist, it's forward and back, right? So when you learn this, if we learn this motion, then your body's going to be much more coordinated in a sense, because now we have the upper and the lower working. When we stroke down like this and we pull back and we turn, the upper and lower is doing the same movement. But because we're turning, the dimension of movement is missed. Because if you look at this movement, I'm like this, my elbows are out, right? And then they come in. But because I'm not turning, that's the only way you can make this hand come back to center. It has to go from vertical to horizontal. But if I go like this and I invert my hand and I go like this is where I did this, but I did that over here. So if I stroke down and I turn and I fold here and I come back to here, what allowed me to do that was not just the elbow going out, it's because I turned my body. And now you have the dimension of this. So while the body's creating this action, all this has to do is be directed in that motion. Now the secondary hand has to come to here. But it doesn't know how to do that in the beginning. So because we learn it here, now it becomes here. There. Because they work together as a unit, and then they start to blend, because they're really working separately, first combining it together, then they're working independent, because now they know this action. And then when it becomes subconscious, then this will know to come to here. But when it comes to here, it's not like this, it becomes this, because we learned it here. We sunk the elbow. So we sink the elbow and relax the shoulder. That's the strategy, is the technique in sinking. So you have to be able to create the motion, the motion, the motion. All of those are the same. It's a pattern. So your body, because it's a motor skill, has to learn these movements. And once you program it into your system, you have it. So why is this so important? Because when he takes my hand and I invert it like this and I turn it like this, that's the technique. You can't do this by just turning here. You have to fold. You have to extend. You have to move. You have to turn. You have to lift. You have to turn. And that's how you create the leverage for the turning of position. Because when he's holding here, the strength is here. I can't go up there. I go like this, then the strength is a little bit different here. I go like this now, here's force against the elbow. I can't just go up, I have to sink. So when I sink, the elbow's here, and then I drop, then I turn, and then it comes forward. See, so the dimensions of change in his hand, the grip it can't adapt. Because the strength in the hand is limited to what's there, and the strength of the thumb. So that's why it's so critical to do this. So when we do this, why does it have to come here? Because when the hand comes to here and we turn, then this hand has to be there, because that's where it's going to engage. So that's why the secondary hand is so important. But you have to teach it. You have to teach that secondary hand, how to get from that point to that point. So that's really the kind of intelligence we're looking for. When we're here, even here to here, right? Here to here, here to here to here. That's all first form secondary hand adjustments. Some of you already have it, but the thing is, it was from mimicking. but do you understand, how to get that there, right? From here. And then how does this get to here? This? That's what a new person would do. Or is it this? You turn, adjust. Turn. See, these units work together without any physical action. That's the passive movement. So, okay, anyways, so let's do that last tail piece of the form and then we'll move on. So we're here, right? Boom, boom, boom. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Step. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Black tiger. Then you chun kill. So, if you define each position with each footwork, then your body starts to recognize it. Then you blend it together. Then you'll have good structural integrity. Because if you just pass through, you just go like this, then there's nothing there. There's nothing there. You go like this, you're not controlling what you're supposed to be developing. So the more pieces you work with, the more integration you have. So that's all the way down to your feet. All right, deep breathing, inhale. I'm going to try that last piece again. Just that last piece is pretty complicated, but those movements will help all your forms too. Because once you get it here, you get it there. Yeah. Okay, ready? Punch. Ready? Cut. Step. Big. So you move, modify the body form. Big. So you sing. Big elbow. Turn. Lift. You're over here now. Turn. Now it's over here. And then like this. Sink. Toe. Now here. And you see the turn. Cut. Big. Open. Lift. Turn. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Turn your body here. Step to here. Flip. Step. Push. 1. Okay, 2, 3, 4. Sit back. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2. Cut and salute. Okay. So it's just something that once you get familiar with it, then you just build it into your form. That's all. The corner back fist 1. This is typical corner back fist. Now this is the one we do in 8th form, 4th form. Straight like this. But this one gets to there, then it starts to drop. Just like this starts to drop. So typically it's used for like a hook, and you're using it like this. So if you hooked on this side, you're doing that. You're intercepting not here, but here. You see? See, a hook is this, you can block a hook, but it's actually very forceful, so you have to kind of abruptly stop it. But this intercepts it there, and then you're turning it down. And then this comes across. And then it comes like that. So when you cut, even though we use it as a block, it's good for uppercut to the waist here. So this is cutting into here. That's how you block a hook. See? So you cut. Big. Yeah. So when someone comes, that's because this is angling in, and you can catch the force. This doesn't, this is different. See, it's force against force. This is cutting it like this, and then, see, so, yeah. So when you cut and you do that, it's that action. Yeah. So it's just, there's optimum or efficient motions to do certain techniques. So if you understand the motion, then you're going to do it like that, because now you're going to rise and you're going to turn. Because we're turning, then this comes as part of that. Because I'm here, then it comes like that. So it's called 3-star continuous punch. So it could be offensive, it could be defensive, it could be offensive, defensive, offensive, it could be all offensive. It depends on how you interpret it. All offensive is just 1, 2, 3. So you're striking, this is striking, boom, this is striking, this is striking. So they're all, it's one cycle. Okay. So these are, if you put some ideas into the technique, then when you practice it, you have better visuals. But you still have to feel the motion in space, because space is something that's a big challenge for most people, because we don't really move around in space, turning our body enough, because that's proprioception. We lose perspective. But if you understand the idea of centerline and 45-degree corners, then you don't have to move outside the realm of those positions, because you can turn, you can step. That's what footwork is. All right, so let's see. Oh, we've got 5 minutes. You got 5 minutes to do Fu Hawk, second half. And Justin's going to lead it at a medium speed. Okay, ready? Hup, go. Second half. Second half, second half. Second, yeah. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Deep breathing, inhale. So everything comes down to fundamentals. How we move our feet, how we move. So something like this, And I said, well, once you get it here, you get it there. So when you get it here, then you get it here, right? Because the leg is going to do the same thing in your transaction, in transition. So your body will just know to do that because it's going to stay balanced. It's going to, compensate for, the weaknesses in position. So it's just, more understanding, that's all. You have enough material, you just have to go through it enough and then pick up all the different strategies that we've been dealing with over the years. These strategies are so a lot of it's through discovery, and like I said, books, we all learn from books, but ultimately way back in the beginning of time, there weren't any books. It was experience, and someone that was really good at it would write a book on it, whether it's statistics or whatever. But then as time goes on, the person who writes the book is actually writing off of his experience and the knowledge that he's gained over time. But you can't really write the book before you know what you're writing about. You have to go through this process. Maybe it does go backwards, but I don't think so. Those little drawings on the concrete walls back in Shaolin Temple came after they figured out, how to, use their techniques, whether it's a sledgehammer, because it was probably pretty crude, like back in the caveman days, they just picked up anything, hit you with a rock. When you got pretty good with hitting with a rock, then they discovered a technique and they wrote a book. Well, they didn't have books, but because they had to try to remember that technique. So that's how, we kind of accumulate things. Today we have video, which is a huge advantage because you can, archive it, you can replicate it, you can go back to and review it. So a video, a form is a book of movements, essentially. Video is an archive of that book, and you can draw off of that. All right, ready? We'll bow. Okay, that's it. I'll see you. Want to see a picture? Want to see a picture? A little.